The open door. If we trace movement towards our Creator to its very roots in our own beginnings as individual persons here in the earth, we will see a type of process that is basic to us spiritually. Not only are we moving toward God in the sense of soul evolution, but there is a movement of the creative force in us each moment. It flows through our bodies as we breathe and think and act. It flows through our bodies and minds during meditation and other moments of spiritual attunement. And it also flows between us as we interrelate with each other. The path of this flowing of spiritual energy within us is referred to as the path connecting the spiritual centers. 7 spiritual centers are considered of central importance in the Edgar Cayce readings. The flow of the life force through our bodies is experienced through 7 endocrine glands, each gland representing a spiritual center with corresponding attributes of the soul. Specific centers correspond to particular behavior patterns. Some of the sensations experienced during meditation could be the result of the spiritual energies rising along this serpentine path that connects the 7 endocrine centers in the physical body. This life force rises not just in the flesh body, but in the higher energy body as well, invisible to normal sight. The 2 most important centers to our discussion of the open door are the Leyden, or cells of Leydig, and the pineal. According to the Cayce readings, the Leyden is located in the body just above the reproductive glands. The pineal gland is located at the base of the brain itself, sometimes identified as being right in the center of the head. It is the movement of the spiritual energies between these 2 centers that is crucial to understanding what happens during meditation. The Leydig center is one of the 3 lowermost centers, connecting us more directly to the earth and our earthly existence. In the Cayce readings, the pineal is one of 3 higher spiritual centers, and is responsible for not only the physical stature of the individual entity, but the mental capacity also, and the spiritual attributes. The pineal represents that place within ourselves that is the door to the Christ Spirit. In using the term Christ Spirit, the Cayce readings make a clear distinction between Jesus as the man and Christ as the indwelling spirit or pattern available to all of us. The Christ Spirit is the door, the truth, the way, not the man, explains the very first reading that outlines the fundamental thoughts regarding the lesson called the open door. But it is the Christ Spirit that is the door to our reunion with our Creator. And it is the door to the Christ Spirit that we seek in meditation and in attuning ourselves and our behavior to higher spiritual ideals. Thus, to open the door between us and our Creator, we must seek the Christ Spirit. In a reading given expressly to explain the manifestation of psychic and spiritual forces through Cayce himself, this information regarding the nature of the spiritual centers was given. There is innate in each physical individual that channel through which the psychic or the spiritual forces that are manifest in material world may function. They are known as glands. Another reading given for the same purpose produced these comments. The Leydig, or closed gland, is the keeper, as it were, of the door, that would loose and let either passion or the miracle be loosened to enable those seeking to find the open door. In other words, the Leydig center is a major access way for emotional, mental, and spiritual transmissions from the lower centers to the higher centers. It may transmit passionate emotional reactions, or it may allow spiritual transformation, even miraculous transformation, to flow to the higher centers. More specifically, it is the pineal center we are concerned with here, because it is expressly designated as that center associated with the opening of the door to the Christ Spirit. If the energies flowing from the Leydig are transformational, then the door opens. If the energies flowing from the Leydig to the pineal are caught in the passions of purely earthly concerns, the door cannot open. Such passions close the door, even on the lower, earth-oriented centers. One reading defines what we mean by the term earthly concerns and passions. The reading says, "Not the exaltation of thine own self, for with the exaltation of self, or the gratifying of the desires of flesh, the door closes." Focusing too much on ourselves, then, either by self-glorification or aggrandizement, or by seeking to satisfy only our carnal desires, to the exclusion of or detriment of the spiritual need of ourselves or of others, closes the door. It literally can shut down a spiritual center. Energy gets trapped. Fear sets in. We become immobilized. We stop the energies from flowing, not just through our bodies, but through our very lives. In a very real way, when we continually close the door by hindering this flow of energy spiritually and mentally, a blockage of one sort or another will result, perhaps an illness or a conflict in one of our relationships. As one reading for a 49-year-old woman puts it, "For first in spirit, then in mind, then in the materialization, for mind is the builder." And another reading for a 33-year-old man reiterates, "The physical is the result, and the spiritual will build that as is builded in the mental being." Herein lies the key to the lock on the closed door. It is what we choose to build in our own minds that makes a difference in our own realities and in our own lives. The word choose is very important. We are, in fact, the only creatures of the earth with the ability to choose, for we have the faculty of free will. It is the individual will, then, that determines the direction in which we move. Listen to these definitions and comments regarding the faculty of will, as they appear in numerous readings for individuals seeking help from Edgar Cayce. The ability to choose is will, as well as the ability to allow self to be used by influences. And this statement, "Hence the will is an attribute of the soul and the whole development of an entity." And from another reading, "For the will of each entity, each soul, is that which individualizes it, makes it aware of itself." And finally, this very simple statement given for the original Search for God study group. "And what makes for the change? Will." We can choose to open the door. We can choose to literally unblock the Leidig center and attune ourselves to the higher spiritual centers within us, and invite into our very beings the Christ Spirit. We can choose to change the way we act and react. We can choose to change our thoughts. And when we change our habitual thoughts, we change our physical reality. But how do we measure our own behavior? How do we know what to change? The mind often acts independently when the will is not exercised. The mind may build and rebuild a reality strictly out of habit rather than free choice. Were we more awake to the option of choice and exercise the will, a different kind of physical experience would result. The measuring standard, as always, is the spiritual ideal. We may change the way we word it at different times in life, but once we've set our personal spiritual ideal, it should always be the backdrop against which any behavior in ourselves is examined. It should reflect for us the nature of our true motivations in doing anything. Simply taking stock of ourselves in this manner is the only way of exercising the will. The following passage from the readings speaks to this relationship of will to the ideal. "For will is that factor in the experience of each soul that determines whether it has responded to that it has set as its ideal." Indeed, another spiritual center comes especially into play here as we use the will to make changes in what our minds are building. It is the heart center. If we listen with our hearts, if we open our hearts to the needs, to the messages, to the sufferings and the offerings of those around us, are we not attuning ourselves more finely to our spiritual ideal? Are we not making it possible to open the door to the Christ Spirit, right there in the middle of conflict itself? The following reading addresses the connection among the heart, the ideal, the will, and the entering of the Christ Spirit through the door of our own consciousness. It uses Jesus as an example of the Christ Spirit, often referred to as Him. Today there is set before thee good and evil, life and death. Choose thou. The will, then, in self, is the gift of thy Maker, thy Creator, that ye might understand and approach Him, putting thy trust, thy hope in His hands. For thy brother, even Jesus who became the Christ, has promised, I stand at the door of thy heart, of thy consciousness. If ye open, I will enter. If ye will listen to that still small voice within. There ye may find the answer. Ye have the ability. Will you listen? Let's take a moment right now to practice listening with our hearts by participating in a brief reverie together. Make sure you are in a place where you will be undisturbed for the next 5 to 10 minutes. Take the time you need right now to prepare your body and mind for this experience by pausing the tape and getting comfortable, relaxed, and mentally calm. Now that you are comfortable, let's do just a few deep breaths together to get our rhythms in sync with each other. Close your eyes and slowly inhale, and then exhale at the same slow rate, fully and completely emptying yourself of air. Again, inhale deeply and exhale completely. One more time. Now, as you continue to breathe at your own comfortable rate, concentrate on your own body and the energy that your breath is generating within you as you inhale and exhale. Feel the breath filling not only your lungs, but also your very bloodstream. Become aware of the feeling of the life force flowing through your body as you rhythmically breathe in and breathe out, taking energy in and recirculating it out, generating a flow of energy between you and the world around you. Concentrate just now on feeling the life force flowing inside your own body. Imagine that life force energy entering your body around the area of the Leydig center in your lower abdomen. Let the energy flow enter that lower part of your body and spiral upward through the middle of your body to the center of your brain, then back down once more to the lower centers. Continue breathing fully and completely, and with each breath and pulse within your body, feel the flow of the life force energy from the lower centers, up through the heart center to the pineal center, flowing freely and unblocked, filling you with a pleasant lightness and a feeling of well-being. As you continue to experience this rhythmical flow of energies in a path up from the Leydig, through the heart center, to the pineal, allow your personal spiritual ideal to come to mind. You may hear or see the words of that spiritual ideal, or a mental picture of the ideal may appear, or a feeling may come over you that corresponds to your spiritual ideal. Allow that image, whatever it is and in whatever form, to become clearer and sharper in your awareness now, as you focus your concentration on this ideal. Allow yourself to enjoy this experience. Feel it fully. Let the awareness enter into the very flow of energies from your lower centers, through your heart center, to the pineal. What awakenings are you aware of now? Perhaps there is a warmth about you. Or perhaps you have a feeling of fullness or of expansiveness. What are you experiencing in your own body as you allow the concentration on your personal spiritual ideal to permeate the flow of life energy through your spiritual centers? Are you feeling any blocks along the path of the life energy? If so, where in your body are you experiencing these blocks? Bring your attention now on the heart center alone. As you listen closely with your awareness, renew the image of your personal spiritual ideal once more. Imagine it fully and completely. Feel the effect of this image on your heart center. How would you describe this feeling? As you begin now to bring your awareness gently back to the rhythmical flow of energies throughout your body, allow the flow of breath within your physical body to once again fill your awareness. Feel the flowing in and out of breath as it carries the life force through your body, filling you with a sense of well-being and peace. Become aware of your body and its physical sensations, bringing your attention back to where you are right now. Flex your hands open and closed as you continue to breathe comfortably and easily. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes. You may wish now to take just a few moments to record in a journal or notebook some of your impressions from this experience. Were you able to get a sense of the life force energies flowing within your body? Describe it in your own words as best you can. Then record for yourself how, if at all, those sensations and feelings changed when you brought your personal spiritual ideal to mind. Was there a difference? If so, what was it? Finally, write out for yourself what happened when you concentrated your awareness on your heart center. Did bringing your personal spiritual ideal to mind again at that point have any effect on how you experienced energies in your heart center? Now pause the tape to make some notes. We don't mean to suggest by this exercise that opening the door to the Christ Spirit is something that can be accomplished simply by doing a reverie. The practice of opening the door takes practice, and it takes courage. For when fears, doubts, thoughts of lack or self-condemnation enter into our consciousness, the door begins to close. It becomes apparent to us, too, that what one reading said in 1939 is still true for us today. We realize that selfishness, jealousies, those things that make people afraid, must gradually be put away. Yet we are encouraged by the reminder that the light is ever before us, wherever in consciousness we may be. All we need do is turn, by act of our own wills, toward that light. Keep the way before thee, says one reading. Turn not to look upon those things that would cause thee to stumble. Keep the face to the light that is in the Christ, and the shadows will fall behind. So far we have looked at the principle that negative emotions associated with the lower centers can block the flow of life energies in our bodies. Those energies are transmitted throughout the body and the consciousness by spiritual centers. The Leydig center and the pineal are crucial centers to our spiritual development. They serve as doors that we can either open by acts and thoughts of kindness, serenity, hope, understanding, and the like, or close by choosing to think and act from doubts, fears, apprehensions, and contentions. When the Christ Spirit enters, its access is through the pineal center, which together with the Leidig have been called the seat of the soul by the Casey readings. By using our personal spiritual ideal in the reverie exercise, we have endeavored to experience this flow of energy, the raising of the Christ Spirit within ourselves. But what of the energies that flow between two individuals? What of the closing and opening of the door to the Christ Spirit that we as individuals can actually become? We are told that it is by doing that we ourselves actually become doors to the kingdom of our Creator. We serve as representatives, as agents, as those that present the way of the Christ Spirit. The first study group members were told, "Be ye doers of the word, not hearers only. Thus ye become the door that the way, the Christ, may enter in." How can we then, in a very concrete manner, practice that which makes a spiritual door of us? Perhaps examining a past experience in another reverie may give us some clues. Once again, be sure you will be undisturbed and pause the tape to get relaxed, comfortable, and peaceful. Let's begin once again by focusing awareness on that flowing of life energy in and out with each breath. Bring your attention to the flow of energies within your body as the life force travels from the Leidig up through the heart to the pineal. Once again, concentrate on feeling that flow of life energy along the path of the spiritual centers. Allow a scene to unfold in your imagination that is from your own recent experience. Select an experience of conflict, a conflict with another person. You may or may not have fully expressed the conflict you were feeling within yourself in this situation. Bring that scene to mind just now, and review the conflict as it actually unfolded. While examining in detail in your mind, take note of the flow of life force within your body. Are there places where you feel the flow blocked? What are you doing or saying in the scene when those blockages occur? Be sure to view the circumstances the way they actually unfolded at the time. If you are experiencing discomfort in this review, stand aside in consciousness from the scene and take note of how that discomfort is manifesting just now in your body. Where are you experiencing the discomfort? How, specifically, is your heart center affected by reviewing this conflict? Is it opened or closed? What emotions do you exhibit in the scene as the opening or the closing takes place? Now, allow that scene to fade from your awareness and begin to focus on your breath and the rhythmical flow of energy throughout your body. Once again, bring your personal spiritual ideal to mind and allow it to influence that energy flow of your life force. Focus on the ideal, clearly, succinctly, to the exclusion of all else. With the peaceful influence of your ideal firmly in control, experience a sense of well-being about your whole body and mind, and bring that scene of conflict once more to mind. Only this time, instead of letting it unfold exactly as it actually happened, change it. Be there with the same characters and influences involved, but this time, pay attention to your own behavior. Be sensitive to the influence of your behavior on your own heart center. Each time you begin to do or say something that threatens to close your heart center, call to mind your spiritual ideal. and then change your behavior or your words. Replace them with new words or actions that are guided by your ideal. Allow your heart center to remain open, to be an open door for the Christ Spirit to another person. As you do this, reactions from other characters in the scene may change. Allow those changes to happen and take note of them. But remember that your focus is on your own behavior, your own words. You are directing only yourself and simply observing any changes that take place in other characters in the scene. And now, allow this transformed scene to come naturally to a close. See yourself and any other characters in the scene departing. Now let the scene fade from view. Once again, focus your awareness completely on the flowing of breath and energy through your body, giving you a feeling of well-being and peace. Concentrate on your breathing and flex your hands open and closed as you breathe. Become aware of your surroundings and slowly open your eyes. There are unlimited possibilities for what may have happened in your scene of conflict the second time around. But regardless of exactly how it unfolded in this exercise, you have experienced firsthand the relationship between your will and the Christ Spirit flowing through you as an open door. Carry this same process into your life's actual challenges as you've just done it in your imagination. Exercise your will and direct your mind to build those thoughts and actions that free you from negative behavior or patterns in your life. In doing so, you open the doors within your very being that in turn open the door to the Christ Spirit, not only for yourself, but for all those you contact day by day.